Our world is beautiful and mysterious. There are nearly 9 million different species around the globe, yet scientists admit the vast majority of them have yet to be identified. You see, even in our modern technological age, every day people sight creatures that they can't understand, that are unknown, creatures that often defy logic. Today, we're going to take a chilling look at 5 mysterious creatures that not only have been sighted, but they've been caught on camera. And you're watching Darkness Prevails, the channel that showcases the horrors of this world, because this world is a strange one. Number 1. Ape-like creature. Many common creature sightings throughout the world speak of creatures that look similar to apes or people, or maybe both. From the Yeti to Bigfoot, these ape-man creatures seem to pop up everywhere. And even sometimes, they are captured on camera. Jonathan Downes, a cryptid researcher, just recently released this chilling and bizarre footage showing a creature running away from a group of dirt bikers. It speeds off at an alarming rate and disappears into the fields. Take a look. The brown, nearly orange beast seems to be around 4 feet tall, but runs away at an unnaturally fast speed, disappearing out of the view of the bikers in mere moments. What could this creature be? According to the locals, this creature might be the beast of legend known as the Orang Pendek. Orang Pendek translates to short person in Indonesian and describes a similar-looking creature that's said to inhabit the wilds of Sumatra, Indonesia. It's a bit like a miniature Bigfoot, and sightings of it date back over 100 years in the region, so this is really nothing new to them. Jonathan Downes himself is 99% sure that the creature exists, and explains that it could actually be a 4th species of orangutan. So what do you think that was in the video? Is it an unknown species of animal often sighted in the Indonesian wilds, or could it be the mythical Orang Pendek? Number 2. Horrific beach creature. Hurricane Harvey took its toll on US citizens in 2017. But even worse, sometimes things are left in the aftermath. Horrifying things that should have stayed in the depths of the ocean. In September of 2017, Texas residents were startled to find something straight from a nightmare lying on the beach. Luckily for them, the sharp-toothed creature was no longer alive, but still, how would you feel if you stumbled upon something like this? After catching the eye of beachgoers, people of course wanted to know what it was, wanted to know if something this chilling still resided in their waters. Because it might be a little more than nerve-wracking diving into the water knowing more of these creatures were out there. Dr. Kenneth Taiga was soon contacted and believes the creature might be a type of fang-toothed eel, but can't be sure of which species it is. While fang-toothed snake eels are quite common in coastal waters, they should be far too deep to be seen or washed ashore. They are known to inhabit depths of up to 300 meters below the surface in the western Atlantic. If this thing really was just some sort of eel, I'd still be afraid to dip my toes into the water. Number 3. Bigfoot in the Canadian wilderness. Canada's wildlife is vast and diverse. Its forests stretch for endless miles. When people aren't going missing in those woods under mysterious circumstances, they're seeing strange things in the woods. A family who was out for a relaxing walk in the woods caught sight of something bizarre in the tree line next to them. Something they now truly believe was the elusive Bigfoot. They managed to film the creature before it walked back into the woods. Take a look. You can see it there, its back seemingly facing the camera, as it seems to be distracted with its own business, maybe looking for food of some sort along the trees and brush. This video is pretty new as well. It was taken on January 5th of 2018, this year, and it clearly shows good reason why we shouldn't altogether dismiss the idea of Bigfoot actually existing. So what do you think it might be? Perhaps someday soon, we will finally have solid evidence of this infamous creature, and we'll be able to add him to our bestiary for good. Until then, be careful when you're out in the Canadian wilderness, because you might stumble across something much larger than you, something inhuman. Number 4. Icelandic lake monster. If I were to tell you lake monsters were real, would you still go skinny dipping on the weekends? Well, as you've already seen in this video, deep waters are often home to some of the most bizarre animals on the planet. Just look at what washes up from the oceans, what is caught in deep water almost every day. Some of these discoveries almost look Lovecraftian. Well, in 2012, in Iceland, cameraman Hjörtur Sherlof saw something terrifying lurking in the waters of the nearby lake Lagarfjord. It is something the locals call the Lagarfjords worm, a creature that has been sighted all the way back to 1345. Take a look at this ancient nightmare fuel. The creature appears to be a massive reptile of some sort, like a giant snake making its way through the cold waters. The monster has its own legend too, and it's something else to behold. As the tale goes, it was a minuscule worm which was placed onto a ring of gold to make the gold grow. When the owner returned, she saw to her terror that the reverse had happened. The worm had grown massive, but the gold remained the same size. After tossing the worm and the gold into Lake Lagarfjord, the worm only continued to grow. Well, whether this footage shows the giant worm from the legend, or just some oddly arranged junk floating on the water, one thing is certain: some of the most bizarre animals remain undiscovered in the deepest depths of the water. Number 5. Tentacle creature. Sometimes life takes on strange forms, and it can be confusing to us humans as to why things look and behave the way they do. One day while out on a walk in southeast Stockholm in Sweden, one man named Richard Turner crossed paths with one of the most bizarre and creepy-looking organisms you might ever see in your life. He found it on the side of the road, crawling slowly with strange tentacle-like growths. Prepare your senses, because here it is. The lump or mass-like thing appears to be plant-like, and it's around the size of a tennis ball. But unlike your typical plant, this thing was found undulating and moving with those root-like appendages. Richard describes it, explaining that the organism wasn't attached to the ground at all. He admits to having no idea as to what it was, though he says that the mass felt unnaturally soft, more like jello, which he discovered after poking it with a pin. being too afraid to make actual contact with it, let alone pick up the creature. Richard hurried home, leaving the undulating mass where it was. I mean, I wouldn't want my face too close to that thing either. What is this weird organism? Do you think it's a plant or something else? If I were you, and if I stumbled across whatever this was, I'd stay far, far away from it. So, did you enjoy this video? Does the idea of unknown monsters existing in our world alongside us freak you out? Well, if you want more videos like this one, be sure to click subscribe, click the notification bell, and leave a like. This world is full of mysteries, and someone needs to shed a little light on them every now and then. Good night.